Hi everyone, I'm James Whitlow Delano. I'm a documentary photo storyteller, and I've been thinking a lot lately about what unique I have to offer. And having worked for publications for over 3 decades now, I think it would be interesting to break down for you what I do to the elements involved in making a successful documentary story. Right now with the tsunami of disinformation, our work is fact-based work is more important than ever. So I think it's important to pass down that tradition to people, even if you're, working as a hobby. It's important. And how do we make a story on the other side of the world? I'm going to talk about a story on the causes of the increased fatal, often attacks by the Malayan Tiger on communities in Malaysia. How do we tie this story to people living on the other side of the planet? And so tying local issues to global issues, and one of the big drivers is oil palm. So let's get started. Let me introduce myself a little bit more to you, and I'm going to do a series of videos talking about the background, give you, the backdrop of the stories, the characters involved, and how we got to where we are. And sadly, I believe that we are in the end stages, possibly leading to the extinction of the Malayan tiger subspecies. I hope I'm wrong about that. So let's talk about photography. Let's talk about putting together stories. So once again, my name is James Whitlow Delano. I've worked with many of the best publications in the world. I've published several award-winning photo books, exhibited my photographs on 6 continents, and I love to pass my knowledge on to others. In 2016, I founded Everyday Climate Change on Instagram. If you like what you're seeing, please hit the subscribe button at the bottom right of the screen. This story, The Malayan Tiger is at a Tipping Point, was pitched to by me and published in Inside Climate News. For over 3 decades I've been traveling to Malaysia. This is the Malaysian Rainforest. It is believed to be 130 million years old. That means that no ice age has ever reached the equatorial rainforest of Malaysia. It's the most diverse ecosystem on the planet. It's the home to Malayan tigers, Asian elephants, tapir. Malaysian gaur is the biggest, largest wild cattle in the world. There are over 200 species of terrestrial animals, 300 species of birds, over 1,000 species of butterflies, and 14,500 species of flowering plants. So this is a breathtaking, overwhelming environment. When you're in it, the humidity wraps around you like a winter coat. You must adapt yourself to it because it makes no concessions to anyone. The rainforest is also deeply fragile. So most of the rainforest's biomass, unlike in the temperate middle latitudes where there's a lot of biomass in the soil, in Malaysia there's very thin soil and almost all of the biomass is above ground. So if you cut down this forest, expose the soil, the first rains just start washing all of the soil and the subsoil into rivers that are described in their natural healthy state as looking a bit like iced tea, like a tannic, slightly brown color, very clear, and it turns it into what is described as a cafe latte color. I would describe it as just plain orange, suffocating sediment washing down in it, killing all the fish in the river, making it uninhabitable, undrinkable. So it's a fragile landscape, not so different in the way that the Arctic is. Any disturbance really takes its toll on the forest, leading to flooding, leading to, as I said, erosion, landslides, you name it. Forests are not empty of human inhabitants. The Australo-Papuan peoples of Malaysia were among the first humans to walk out of Africa, some almost 80,000 years ago. The Batek and the Jahai, who we will meet later, are their ancestors were part of that migration along the Indian Ocean coast. So they've been in Malaysia tens of thousands of years, the first human inhabitants of Southeast Asia. The Temiar, you will meet later, and they're Austroasiatic people. Their ancestors migrated out of the Asian continent, southward, as the name implies, Austro, Southern Asiatic peoples. They've been living in the forest for thousands of years, for millennia. Here's the thing, and this happens to indigenous peoples all over the world. They don't own title to the land. I mean, because when their ancestors first migrated there, frankly, humans were not yet literate. They had no use for documentation. Everybody knew that this was their land. Enter loggers, mostly it intensified in the 1970s when when there was an communist insurgency in northern Malaysia that came to an end. We'll talk more about that later. Became safe to enter the territories of the Temiar and the Batek and the Jahai, who were themselves victims of the insurgency. This whole area became safer. Loggers entered and they would say, look, you have no title to the land, and they would expropriate it. They would take the land from the indigenous inhabitants, and they're still doing this to this day. They would cut down the trees in order to open up the land for an oil palm plantation. You have to clear cut the land, so there's profit in that wood. First, you'd have the highest quality wood go through, and this was not carefully done. This was just ruination. The lower quality wood, lumber, timber you could use as plywood. Then would come the lands opened up. They would follow the river courses up, cut everything down, and start oil palm plantations. And here's the thing in Malaysia. Often the logging company, the sawmill owner, the oil palm company, the oil palm refinery are all the same company. It is this almost mafia-like, protected by the government. These people come in who are savvy with the law, and legally it's daylight robbery, but it is legal. So this is where we come in. Palm oil is in so many products. It's in biscuits, it's in ice cream, it's in face lotions, it's in shampoo, it's in biofuel. So many products we use in our daily lives contain palm oil. And this is how our consumption habits affect people on the other side of the planet. This is our part to play in this story. And I think it's so important, if you're going to do a local story like this, to establish that connection with the bulk of the readers and show that they are complicit and they are participants in this story. So palm oil is a global commodity. and we are active participants in this drama. So this is the background, and now it's affecting the Malayan tigers. I'm going to talk about that and what's happening with them in a later episode, but I just wanted to give you a quick background on what is happening and what are the drivers of this destruction that is leading to people who have lived side by side with tigers for millennia. I remember asking the Batek, when was the last time you lost a member of your community to a tiger? And they would just kind of laugh at me. Well, 18 months ago, they lost someone in a tiger attack. So more on that later. Let's talk photography. Photography is about research and being informed about what you are documenting. Thank you very much, and I will see you next time. If you like what you're seeing, please hit the subscribe button at the bottom right of the screen.